What's going on, Fan Cave? It is Wednesday, September 7th. I'm in a different location. Joe's in a different location. We're both still at the office. Another day, another dollar. Now we're getting geared up for the NFL season. We're pumped. The rest of the Metabilia team's pumped. Fan Cave's getting pumped. Got a lot of cool things in store. Very first, we'll be going over the live auction for today. Then we'll break down a couple of what we're doing with our Pick'em League, if you haven't joined already. Then we'll preview a couple of member NFTs, a couple event NFTs, let you guys know in store. Then obviously we'll wrap it up with some questions. So we'll get right into it. But Austin, let's kick off the Discord live auction. We got a Terrell Suggs signed Eclipse mini helmet. I grew up in the Maryland area, so I could say Terrell Suggs was one bad dude. But we'll get that.
Why do they, just for everybody, why do they call this an Eclipse helmet, Noah?
So there's four types of helmets now. There's the regular, obviously. There's what's called a lunar. So the lunar is the white one. The Eclipse, it's actually technically a lunar eclipse just because they wanted to make it even more confusing. But they've actually stopped production of the Eclipse helmets. So the Eclipse were about they do it on a 3-year cycle. So this is the third year of that cycle. So the Eclipse market will be dying down in terms of what's available. But then there's also the Flash, which is kind of like a tertiary helmet. So we'll get that kicked off. But next, let's get into the Pick'em. Austin made an announcement earlier this week. When we're continuing to do our announcement, we encourage others to share. There's a Google form that you could fill out with your information and your picks for the upcoming week. We'll roll them out on Tuesdays, I believe. In most cases, we won't do a Thursday night game just so that we can allow people enough time to enter prior to Sunday. This week, obviously, we have our big opening night tomorrow. So we're going to be launching it for the Thursday night game. It's available. Austin will drop it in the Discord. Joe, you want to touch on the Pick'em?
Yeah, a few notes on the Pick'em. I think my advice to Noah and to Austin when they put the Pick'em together was to only curate a select amount of games. So, at a minimum, you'll see 8 games this week. And going forward, I just think it's a hassle to pick that many games every week, and we don't want it to be a chore. So I think it'll focus a lot on some of the teams that we work with. Also heard you loud and clear on the notion of carryovers. So we're going to have a tiebreaker question. This week's tiebreaker is how many yards Josh Allen will throw for. So hopefully that'll be a nice added benefit. And if any of us win, Noah, Joe, myself, Austin, and Joe, our memorabilia guy, who I know will be in the Pick'em, we agree that we will roll over our prize to the next week. So while we'll participate in bragging rights, you won't see us take home any prizes.
Emphasis on the bragging rights.
We'll likely give our guys a day off or at least a longer lunch break if they win. So it's intended to be fun. You'll see us try to work on ways to get more people involved. I know from a user standpoint, you don't want to spread the word because you want your chances to win to be higher, but just note that it's good for the goose is good for the gander. So the more people that are involved in our Discord, the better. I think we already have 80 people signed up, which I think is a good number. We'd like more. So tell all your friends about it, post it in other Discord communities, and let's get this going. I can tell you that the prizes will get better if more people are added. So just keep that in mind as well.
Nailed it. Awesome. Yeah. So this week we'll have a Josh Allen NFT as the prize. Obviously, you can see next week we have the Travis Kelce. Week 3 we have the Sean Merriman. We started to pick out today the next set of items, so it's getting good. Joe was brainstorming what the grand prize will be. So we'll find some more cool stuff, and we'll obviously let you guys know.
Yeah, one idea for the grand prize, I don't know if we'll pull it off, is you show up to our warehouse, which you can see behind me. We give you a minute and a plastic bag, and you take as much stuff as you want in that 1 minute. So we're still working on some ideas, but we'll make it fun.
We'll have to put the Mahomes stuff in a back corner. Awesome. So let's get into some NFTs. So our next athlete, obviously, if you've been listening along, we've been sharing that our next athlete that will be dropped on DraftKings will be Aaron Donald. We are approaching that launch date. We were speaking with DraftKings today about when the drop date will be, and final mint counts, final prices. Joe will touch on that a little bit, but Austin, why don't you share the new revamped member NFT that you'll see for the Aaron Donald Founders class?
Jesus, he's checked. So we tweaked a little the look and feel. Hopefully this pushes us forward as far as design. We wanted to make it a little bit sleeker, a little bit sharper, but still preserve a lot of the elements. I think the video that we got with Aaron, I think is a good one that shows his power and what he goes through to work out. It's larger. We're not necessarily abandoning the passport, but I think we're trying to take comments from the community that passport was somewhat limiting in space. So hopefully people find this better.
And as well, I think it does a nice job of showing Aaron Donald off the field as well. So that's something that's important to us. And we wanted to give it a little bit of a feel of what what the member NFT actually entails. So memorabilia, access to the athlete on and off the field. So that was the revamped version. Joe, do you want to kind of share a little bit of where our heads were at in terms of where people could expect this? Obviously, we don't have
Sure.
concrete numbers or anything yet, but
So this will be launched the week of the 19th on DraftKings platform. I think we wanted to get out of the way of Rainmakers. Also, we're mindful of the cash out date for Rainmakers. So wanted to make sure that people were locked and loaded prior to this. I think you'll see us take some approach between, and it's a wide range, between Josh Allen and Shane Bieber. So we want it to sell out. We want there to be good sell through after the fact. So I think we have an opportunity here to get this right, and I think you'll see us try to do that. So we're watching the market. We know where things are traded. We know what can be successful. Obviously Aaron's a big player, so I think it'll be a good offering. And I've already seen event number 1. I think you'll like event number 1 as well.
Nailed it. All right. Speaking about events, why don't we get into the event previews?
Yeah, so a little precursor to the event previews. I think, again, launching everything from a passport and showing it inside is limiting. So I think you'll see us embrace a different form factor. You certainly saw that with Musgrove. We're playing around a little bit with the stamp, and just know that we're going to push the envelope on design. So I hope you like this one.
Awesome.
And before he runs it, Austin or Noah, where can people post comments now that we got rid of event chat?
They can do it in Cave Chat or NFT Talk. We got a couple. If you're listening on Twitch, you can go with you can obviously comment through there. YouTube, same thing. Austin is on all platforms. He's manning his station. He can see all the platforms. So if you do have any questions, drop them in NFT Talk or in the chat functionality on the platform you're on.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, let's get into some NFT previews. The first one we'll show is for Mikey Williams. Saw a couple comments, curious what the next stage for Mikey was. So this magazine cover is a little play on, for those who remember LeBron James' famous cover. Mikey is officially transferred back to San Ysidro, the high school in which he became Mikey Williams. So this was an exciting one. So this was a little bit of play on Mikey coming home to California. Super pumped about this one. We really liked what the team was able to put together. And we'll throw a picture of the LeBron cover in there so you can check it out. But Mikey was really excited about this one.
So we're pretty proud of that one. You'll know that that prop, if it looks familiar to you, it's from LeBron's famous Sports Illustrated cover when he decided that he was going to take his talents back to Cleveland. So we're embracing that concept. Again, you see that we did away with the notion of being heavy-handed on the passport. We think we go right to the artwork, show the good stamp, and make it something that people want to collect.
Nailed it. All right, the next we have the Josh Allen Next Event NFT, highlighting his being drafted number 7th overall by the Buffalo Bills.
My responsibility is to be the best quarterback that this teammate that I can be and helping to lead this organization to Super Bowl. So ultimately, that's our final goal, and we got to push through that boundary to go get one. But I'm just, again, trying to be the best quarterback and teammate that I can be and allow these Bills fans to be proud of us and have something they can hold their head high.
To be frank, we were waiting on a number of these event NFTs to see if we could get some of the DraftKings functionality up and running, but we realized that waiting is too long, so we're going to push these out. So you'll see us push out a lot over the next few weeks, and we're promised by upper management at DraftKings that single sign-on and some of our other functionality will be right around the corner.
And for those who don't know, I found this out during the signing with Josh Allen. He is a diehard Elvis Presley fan and has his own record player in his house that he listens to Elvis CDs. So that was a cool one to do, obviously, with the movie coming out. But we were excited about that one. I think those are the only ones we have today. I know we have a few more in the pipeline that we'll show next week. But yeah, as Joe said, we have a bunch of event NFTs that we're sitting on, names like Fernando Tatis, our college football guys, Shane Bieber, Vlad and Acuna. So we're just waiting for the right time, and you guys will obviously see them here first. But why don't we start getting to some questions? First one, how did the company fantasy draft go? Who has the best roster and who has the worst? If you ask me, I would say Joe has the worst roster and I have the best. But if you ask him, I'm sure it'd be a little bit different.
No, I have the worst roster. As a CEO of the company that's coming up with the prizes for our fantasy, there's really nothing that I can win that I don't already have. So I had fun with this draft. I got my favorite position other than one, which is the hook. So I picked 12th in a 12-person league. So, never any indecision between two players because I can pick two in a row. And I had 12 and 13. You'll recall that our partners are the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Bengals, etc. So at 12, I took Travis Kelce, and at 13, I took Josh Allen.
The least surprising pick of all time. There was a premium for the Chargers, Chiefs, Ravens players for our non-sports fans because those were the players that they knew.
And those were the guys that So our co-founder, chief of staff, COO Nicole actually took Patrick Mahomes in the second round, and then in her third pick, she took third round. She took Joe Burrow, so she didn't know that you can only start one quarterback.
Two good options.
Gotta love the allegiance.
Yep.
But I'm not one that seeks much diversity. So I usually have two fantasy teams, one with my ex-hedge fund guys, which tends to be a little cutthroat, and one with my college friends, fraternity brothers, which is extremely more cutthroat. and I always end up with the same players on all of my teams every year because I draft for upside. So some players that I have are Travis Etienne, Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Yeah, that guy.
of course, Gabe Davis. I took Olave in all of my teams. I took Sky Moore in all of my teams. I took James Cook in 2 out of 3 of my teams, and of course, with the flyer, Isaiah McKenzie for the Bills. So I'm always representing. If the Bills do well, I'm happy. If my team comes in last and the Bills do well, I'm still happy. So I'm uniquely hedged.
It's an interesting take to take as someone who had such a poor draft. But we'll give you guys some updates as the season goes on. Next question. Any more details to share about the Metabilia events happening around the Bills home opener?
Yes. So we're working. So we did a 20-person giveaway where we selected both Founders Class and Series 1 holders. The selected 20 will be guests of ours for the game, the tailgate, and wings the night before. We are working on a tailgate discount for all of our users. Noah's negotiating it. Final negotiations probably tomorrow morning, but should be well priced. So for what should be a long tailgate Monday afternoon, starting at around 3 o'clock, I think it's going to come in around $50 or $60 for open bar plus all the food. That's where we'll be posted up. So we're not, I'm not asking Noah or Austin to set up a grill and do all that stuff. So we're gonna go VIP style with and VIP for Buffalo is $50 or $60. So just keep in mind that we're grounded, but it'll be good food, open bar, and we'll bring some footballs to throw around, along with some memorabilia items to raffle off. So that benefit will go out to all of our users, and hopefully you can use that discount. If you're going to the game, please join us. If you need tickets, it sounds like we've had a couple of people drop out, so perhaps there's some extra tickets if people want to get involved. We'll figure out an equitable way to do that. But at the very least, come for the tailgate, come for wings the night before. Just let us know, open a ticket, and we'll make sure you're there. And as the guys can attest, a food tour of Buffalo with me is usually good.
You definitely have to hit the gym after, but it's definitely worth it. Awesome. Yeah, and so we'll the second it's finalized, we'll make sure to obviously promote that on Discord, on our social, and we'll send out to all of our users that we can. So we'll make sure everyone's in the know about that. I know we kind of touched on it, but any idea on mint counts and prices for Aaron Donald yet?
We're still studying it. I think I think we learned stuff with Bieber and Musgrove. I think they're trading well. This notion of having to sell out such that there's a strong trading price after. I think we just need to be careful of trying to flip for the quick buck. We want collectors. We want our plan to stand on its own and our strategy, but just keep in mind that we want it to trade well also. So there'll be a healthy mix, and it's a wide range, but it'll be somewhere between Josh Allen and Musgrove, probably closer to Musgrove.
Any ideas for the event NFTs after Anthony Richardson's? The question was great, but let me rephrase to fantastic debut.
It was a great debut. It put him, ensconced him, I think, in the Heisman conversation, which may be premature, but is deserving. I think he ran the read option well. I want to see him get better at throwing the ball down the field, which I think will come over time. They obviously beat a very good team. They have a tough matchup at home again next week. We're formulating a way to make that 2-point conversion into an event NFT. So we're working on it now. I think the other thing is that we have some calls with some boosters set up. So I'd like you're not going to see me be shy, but I want the boosters to write a big check towards the NFTs as well.
We got a couple of other event NFTs already in the works for Anthony and some of the other college guys. So we'll obviously keep those sharing. They're in the back of the pipeline behind some of our already launched guys. Has there been consideration of collaborating with a site that allows for connecting our collections to a digital explorable space, like a trophy room or a museum?
That's an excellent question. Um, we are shopping a partner now as it relates to our Pro Football Hall of Fame project, because in our mind, being able to show your collection in a metaverse type museum where you can eventually be proud of it and charge admission, et cetera, I think that that's part of the roadmap. And I think where we want to go in the future is that not only can you buy our NFTs, but you can design your own fan cave and show off both your NFTs and your memorabilia assets in a trophy room, museum, whatever setting you may choose. We're working on it now. We're under impressed, to be frank, with the number of metaverse universes that are out there. I just don't think that the technology is where it can be as far as space and design. If you have any ideas, we'd love to speak with any of your contacts. But I think we've been under impressed with some solutions out there today. Working on it though. Like I said, it's important to our Pro Football Hall of Fame and product and overall where we're headed.
The eventual Vlad Guerrero burn mission, should we expect all event NFT releases of his to be eligible, or do you expect the burn to be limited to a specific event NFT release, or where are we thinking?
I think it's going to be make your own Sunday. So we're going to decide um, event, and we're going to decide case by case, mission by mission, what that is. I think our goal is to reduce the mint counts quite a bit of all the event NFTs. So I think you'll see us be creative. Um, and we're not scared of looking at market prices either. So if Josh Allen Event One is trading well because of the collectability of it, and the Vlad Event 4 is not trading well, you'll see us try to eliminate a lot of supply in Vlad Event 4. We may also do cross athlete burn missions as well. So I think everything's on the table. If you have any ideas, love to buy you a beer in Morristown and talk to you about it.
Well, that was the next thing he said. When is the happy hour at Morristown Game Vault?
I guess that's from Gary as well. Morristown Game Vault, what is that?
That's the arcade that's like right down the street.
Oh, okay.
It's in an old bank.
And they have like pole position and Pac-Man, NBA
Yeah,
Jam.
and like Tecmo Bowl, like they have everything. It's
Do
really
they have
cool.
Shaq's Bubble Hockey?
I've
Anybody can beat me in bubble hockey.
you had a
We'll get
free
them
NFT.
But,
Gig, I saw you.
they put up $10, and I'll put up $100 credit against our company. Anything in our company if they can beat me at checks hockey.
Gig, I saw your message. I am rocking the Bo Jackson today. Figured 'tis the season. You might as well bring this one out. For the pick'em tiebreaker, I'm going to paraphrase. What happens if you guess the exact number of passing yards for Josh Allen? Well, as someone who knows the answer already. No.
I mean, you will likely win the tiebreak. I don't think you get anything extra. Maybe we'll think of something. I don't want to make it gimmicky that you get an extra point, because I do think the season long bet is important. I think we can make the decision now. So, Austin, please update the rules. If you are in the tiebreak, and only if you are in the tiebreak, and you happen to pick the on the dot or closest to the pin in the hole, you get an extra 1 point. Games. It's as if you picked an extra game, but it's only if you are in the tiebreak.
That sounds good. I don't think we have any other questions. If you have one, please drop it in the chat. But Joe, are there any parting words you'd like to share?
No, I think hopefully you said goodbye to your wife or your wag over the weekend, because it's great that football season.
Football's back, baby.
I actually feel bad for all of them. But thank you for your continued support. Let's get people in our Discord. As much as it pains you probably to have more people competing, winners want the ball. So invite some more people into our chat. Let's get them into the pick'em. Let's get them talking about. Let's get them talking about our NFTs and our memorabilia, and let's get our user counts up and our products trading well. So, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.